Hello dear students, welcome back to the NCERT science class of 8th standard. Dear students, we are studying very first topic, that is crop production and management. Dear students, in the previous class we have studied about the different agricultural practice or the stages of agricultural practice that we have studied in the previous class. Dear students, in the previous class, in the beginning we have studied that is about the crops, types of crops, and after this one we have studied that is agricultural practice very first step, that is preparation of soil. Then after this one sowing, then adding the seeds into the soil is called as the sowing, isn't it? Then after sowing, the third step that we have studied after sowing, that we have studied that is adding manure and fertilizers. After this one we will study that is irrigation. See, if a farmer he has to grow the crops, what he has to do? First he has to prepare the soil. With the different agricultural equipments. When he prepares the soil, when he levels and make it porous, then he has to put the seeds in the soil. That is called as the sowing. After sowing, what happens? He has to put the manure and fertilizers. He has to put. That is urea, NPK and green manures and all he has to add. Then after this one, he has to give the water. Then what happens? Slowly the seeds will germinate. And next, along with the seeds, along with the germinations, other unwanted the plants will grow. That is called as the weeds. Later we will study. Yes. Then after this one, when the plants grow, that what we have to do? We have to remove the unwanted plants. That is called as the weeding and all. Later we will study. Here only in this topic, in this period only we will study. Next, that is storage and all. We will study, isn't it? Today's main concept, that is irrigation. Irrigation means the process of supply of water at regular intervals of time to the crops is called as the irrigation. Irrigation means the process of supply of water to the crops at regular intervals of time. It is not a continuous process. At regular intervals of time, after duration. See what happens? We have to give the water to the plants. The process of giving of water or supply of water to the crops at regular intervals of time is called irrigation. Understood? Irrigation means the process of supply of water at regular intervals of time is called as the irrigation. Next, dear students, first of all, we know the meaning of or definition of irrigation. In examination, you may ask for one marks. What is meant by irrigation? The process of supply of water at regular intervals of time is called as the irrigation. Yes. Next, importance of water to the plants. Why we have to irrigate the water? Why we have to give the water to the plants? Why we have to irrigate the water? See, plants are the living beings. All living beings needs water for the survival. We also need water for the survival. If we quit the water for a few days, what happens? We will not survive. Isn't it? Like that, plants are also living beings. Plants also needs water for their survival. When we see the structure of the plant cell, inside the plant cell, it contains 90% of water. Plant needs water for their metabolic activity. Whatever the digestion, respiration and all the different processes are there, they need water. Isn't it? That's why. And also along with that different processes, like for example, blossoming of flowers, seedling, isn't it? Growth, fruiting, ripening of fruits. And all the life activities needs the water by the plants. And also not only plants, all the living organisms. Yes. Next, dear students, irrigation. We are giving the water. That is called as irrigation. Giving of water to the plants is called as irrigation. Irrigation depends on the crops. See, for example, sugarcane needs more water. Sugarcane crop need more water. Maize needs very less water. Less amount of water. It means irrigation depends on the types of crops. Isn't it? If we give the more water to the maize and other small the vegetables and all, what happens? That may affect. See, plants may not grow or the crops may not grow. Isn't it? May spoil. If we give the less amount of water to the sugar cane or the commercial plants or the commercial crops, what happens? That may be not good. Yes, the irrigation depends on the types of crops. Isn't it? Some crops needs more amount of water. We have to irrigate more water to the plants, and some plants they need very less amount of water. Yes. The next and also the second reason, the irrigation depends on the crops, and second one, the irrigation depends on the season. In summer season, we have to irrigate more water. The water will be evaporate out due to the high temperature. Understood? During summer, all crops needs more water. Or in a high temperature area, the water means plant needs more amount of water. In case of humid and moist area, in the rainy season, very less amount of water they need. Or in winter season, they need less amount of water. But in case of summer season, they need more amount of water. And also, one more reason, that is, it depends on the areas or depends on the soil also. So we can create, depends on the nature of soil. Some soils, for example, black soil, they needs very less amount of water because black soil is having water holding capacity more compared to the other soils. Isn't it? In some places, for example, when we go to the Rajasthan and all, they needs more, means the soil is not so porous or means not fertile. It means there needs more amount of water. In that soil we have to give, means water holding capacity of that area soil is very less. We have to give more amount of water there at regular intervals. It means occasionally we have to give more amount of water. Isn't it? Soil also, depending on the soil, nature of soil, we have to give, means in some soils water holding capacity is very less, in some soils what happens, the water holding capacity is more. That's why we have to give more amount of water and less amount of water depending on the nature of soil. Next, dear students, sources of irrigation. See, what are the dear students? Different sources are there. On the earth, 3/4 of the earth's surface is covered with the water. Yes, you might have studied in earlier classes. But out of these 100%, only 1% of water is available for the irrigation. Yes, 97% is present in sea or ocean, and 2% that is present in the glaciers, and next 1% is present in the fresh water. Yes, different sources are there. A river is the largest source for the irrigation. Well, tube well, then canals. Yes, different bore wells also there nowadays. Different sources are there for the irrigation. Yes. Next, come to the next point, that is methods of irrigation. Methods of irrigation. See, here the irrigation methods mainly divided into two types. The first one is traditional method. The second one is modern method. Traditional method, it needs more amount of water. It needs more amount of energy. See, in our areas, maybe it is not present. Somewhere maybe it is present. But in the backward areas, they needs more amount of water. That is, traditional method is following nowadays also. But in our area now, nowadays due to the science and technology, most of the areas of our country is following the modern method of irrigation. We'll see first of all, that is traditional method, that is ancient method also we can say. Ancient method of irrigation. See, mainly the most of the areas of India and all the different countries mainly depends on for the irrigation mainly depends on the rain. Yes. Next, dear students, when we get the water in the form of different sources like a river, well and tube well and all, lakes, canals and all, that we have to irrigate in the field by different sources. See, one old method, that is traditional method, boat. Here what happens? One bag, like on a huge bag or a container, that they will hang with a rope and releases into the well, and that will be dragged by a pair of bulls, and that whatever when the container will come up, and that will be poured in a huge tank. When huge tank will be filled up, that water will be released out, and that water will move to the field. That is moat method. Chain pump, that is number of containers are attached to a circular ring. There what happens? That is connected to a chain. Due to the rotation, with the help of wheels and all, the chain will be rotated, and due to which what happens? The water will be filled in a tank that will be irrigated. The next, Dekli is also the oldest method. The oldest method we can say, that is a huge a bar or huge bar we have to take, and next we have to tie it one heavy material at one side, and next we have to tie one bucket or the huge container at one side, and we have to dig the container in a huge tank or in a pond, yes, then or well, by lifting. See what happens when the container come up, and by pouring in a tank, we will pour that, we will irrigate the water. In our textbook has given the clear image. And drag is the system with the bull cart. They will rotate around in a circular path with the help of wheel that is connected to a chain that will be rotated, and that contains a circular ring also. Then by this what happens, that connected to a number of the containers, when it dip in a water, that will bring the water during the circular movements. Meanwhile what happens, that will brings water and that will pour in another tank that will be irrigated. Yes, these are the ancient method, and that needs more energy, more time and all, expensive time in that method it is. The next, dear students, after this one, modern method. Nowadays most of us, the modern method is using for the irrigation. The first one is sprinkler irrigation. Sprinkler irrigation, what happens, dear students, here? Sprinkler irrigation. The sprinklers, that is, we have to put on we have to put the sprinklers at a proper distance. Sprinklers who's having a rotating cock, who's having at the top rotating cocks are there, that we have to connect to the main pipe. When the water is supplied with a high pressure, the cocks starts to rotate, due to which what happens, the water will be sprinkled out. Water will be sprinkled out. Yes. The next come to the drip irrigation. Drip irrigation. See what happens nowadays, very popular and best method for the irrigation, which enables the store save the water also. See whatever the ancient method or the traditional methods are there, they will leads to the loss of water. Only plants, whatever we give the water to the plants, out of this 100%, only 2% of water will be taken. 2% of water is taken by the plants. Remaining rest of 98% will be percolated out into the earth crust. Yes, but this drip irrigation method, what happens here? Here in the field, a huge pipe will be there. A huge pipe will connect it to the main sub pipes. Huge pipe is connected to the sub pipes. These sub pipes that will be connected to the again narrow pipes. Narrow pipes are there. These narrow pipes have the minute holes at the region where the stem is. In case of plants, for example, if you are growing here, the stem of the plant is here. By making a hole here at the region of the stem, drop by drop, regularly water will be percolated out from the drop, from the hole that is supplied to the pipes, that will be moved at the region of the stem, that gives the water to the plants exact at their place. And that method, the drip irrigation method, is best to avoid the weeds. Weeds also, see here, weeds means unwanted plants. In Hindi we are telling that is kachra, that we can say, or in different language they are saying different word, that is weeds. Weeds means unwanted plants which are growing along with the crops that we can control. See here in that reason, the weed will not grow because here the water will be not supplied. Only at the region of the stem the water will be supplied. That's why the weeds will not grow. If weeds will not grow, there is no any competition for the nutrients, sunlight and all for the crops. Yes. Next, dear students, the main important, these are the methods of irrigation. The most applicable, best method, that is drip irrigation. By this way, we can save the water, we can get more yield, and next, we can control the weeds also. Yes, efficient product we will get. These are the benefits of drip irrigation. Next, come to the next concept, that is next concept that is protection from weeds. First of all, we should have to know the meaning of weeds. When we see in the field, we have irrigated commonly in the harrow and all. Yes, rows and all. See what happens, dear students? Crops will germinate. When we sow the seeds in the soil, the seeds will germinate. When we irrigate the water, seeds will germinate. Along with the seeds germination, the other unwanted waste plants also grow. There is no any use of these plants. Yes, that plants are called as the weeds. Means the unwanted plants which are grown along with the crops, the unwanted waste plants which are grown along with the crops, such plants are called as the weeds. Yes, such plants are called as the weeds. The next, that has to be removed. The weeds they may compete with the crops in case of nutrients. Whatever we are giving the urea, NPK and all, that will be taken by these weeds. That's why we have to remove. They will compete in case of nutrients, water, sunlight, air and space. That's why we have to remove the weeds. In examination, he may ask why we have to remove the weeds. We have to remove the weeds because it goes on competition with the crops in case of nutrients, water, sunlight, air, space, etc. Isn't it? That's why we have to remove. The process of removal of weeds is called as the weeding. Understood? The process of removal of weeds. The process of removal of weeds is called as the weeding. Isn't it? It is must and should process that we have to take in the field. Isn't it? Weeding means the process of removal of weeds which are grown along with the crops, that is called as the weeding. See here, dear students, weeding, that is weeding or the removal of weeds is by two methods. One is mechanical method, the second one is chemical method, or mechanical barrier or chemical barrier we can say. The mechanical method means with the help of machines and tools. Machines and tools, that is sickles and all, or by tilling. Or by tilling means the turning of soil, whatever the weeds are grown, at that reason we are till the soil. See what happens when we till the soil, whatever the weeds are there, that will be fall down at the beneath of the water, beneath of the soil, that will be decomposed. Yes? With the help of sickle also, some farmers are removing with the help of sickles, or they are cut down at the ground level. Yes? By cutting down at the ground level, or by removing with the help of sickles, or by plucking up, that is by different methods and all. That is by mechanical methods. And next one is chemical method. Chemical methods of weeding. Chemical methods. You might have saw that the common chemical is using, that is I have mentioned here 2,4-D, that is weedicides. Chemicals, the chemicals which we are spraying on the weeds, which the farmers are spraying on the weeds, due to which what happens, the chemicals, the weeds will be die. Yes, it means due to the spray, means these are the spray by using with the water, by mixing with the water, that by spraying with the spraying pump, that may kills the weeds. Isn't it? That is a chemical method. That is weedicides. The chemicals which we are using to kill the or to destroy the weeds, that chemical substances are called as the weedicides. How to kill the pests with the help of pesticides, like that weeds we can kill with the help of weedicides. Weedicides are the chemicals we can use to kill the or destroy the weeds. Next, dear students, harvesting. Next very important, that is harvesting. Here what happens, dear students? When plants will grow, we have irrigated different at different intervals. We have irrigated. The crops will grow. That crops, when it reaches to the maturity, we have to cut down. Crops will grow and they will produce the seeds or grains or products. When it reaches to the maturity, we have to cut down. We have to harvest it. The process of cutting down of the crops to get the yield is called as the harvesting. Here, dear students, after maturity we will cut down and we will get the grains. Yes? And one point I left here, dear students, that is chemical method and mechanical method. The weeds should be removed before the flowering and seeding. That time we have to remove the weeds. Yes, that point I left here. Sorry for that. Next come to here, that is harvesting. Harvesting, that is process of cutting down of crops, not weeds. Crops when it matures. Matured, cutting down of matured crops to get the grain and seed of the products is called as the harvesting. See, after harvesting, the seeds or grains are maybe mixed with the calf and all. That we have to remove. That we have to remove. Only we need the seeds of the quality, good quality products. We doesn't want the other way, unwanted waste that gets mixed during the harvesting. That we have to remove. That is removed with the help of different machines are there. Harvesters and all different machines are there nowadays. But in the ancient times, what happens? They throw or the beat on the hard substances. The seeds will be separate. Along with the seeds, unwanted chalk material or the calf materials are produced. That will be separate means unwanted starch material or the calf material that will be present. That separation of seeds from the calf is called as the threshing by beating on the hard substance. By beating on the hard substance, the removal of seeds from the calf is called as the threshing. Next, see what happens after threshing. The seeds may get mixed with the other unwanted waste material. That lighter particles, lightweight particles, that has to be separate. That farmers, what they will do, they will throw in air. That due to the current of air, what happens? The calf material or the lightweight particles of the leaves, dead leaves and all, that will be blown and you will get the seeds, purely seeds. That process is called as the winnowing. The process of removal of light particle from the seeds or grains by throwing in the air is called as the winnowing. Yes. Next come to the next stage, that is called as the storage. Storage. Here what happens, dear students? The plants, after cutting down the crops, after harvesting, we will get the crops or we will get the seeds. That seeds we have to protect in a particular place. It should be free from moisture. Moisture means water content, means moist air. There should be dry air. Yes. Then next we have to store. Otherwise, what happens? That may spoil. We have to protect it from the moisture. The next, insects. We have to protect the seeds from the insects. Then rats and next microorganisms. If we throw the harvested seeds and the grains, anyway, what happens? That may spoil. To increase the food production, we have to store the food in a godown or a storage to protect from the moisture, insects, rats, microorganisms, termites and all. Isn't it? The protection from these agents are the moisture, insects, rats and the termites and all, that is called as the storage. Here what happens, dear students, before storing the seeds has to be dried in the sunlight. The seeds may contain the water content, may contain the water. That water, nature or the water contains may spoil due to the development of fungus and all. That may spoils, the seeds may spoils. Suddenly, wet seeds we don't have to store in the storage. What happens? That may be spoiled due to the fungus and all. That first we have to dry it. We have to remove the moisture content from the seeds in the sunlight. When seeds dry up completely, that we have to store in a godown, totally free from that insects and all. Then, see, in case of large scale, the seeds are stored in the silos and granaries. Yes, in the godowns, that is metallic bins. The farmers are storing in the metallic bins, large huge container metallic bins. And from ancient times, the seeds are stored with the help of neem leaves to protect from the insects and all. neem leaves are mixed with the seeds that products from the insects. Nowadays, the chemicals are available in the market that is called as the boric acids and all. They are using with the seeds to protect it from the insects and all. The next, dear students, are the last stage, that is last one, that is animal husbandry. Animal husbandry. Animal husbandry means rearing of animals along with the field. The farmers are growing the crops and all. Along with that, the farmers rear the animals like cow, buffalo, poultries, silkworms, honey. Yes, different animals they rear. Yes, rearing of animals is called as the animal husbandry. The animals like cattle, cow, or the dairy animals or the draught animals, they are using for the production of meat and milk. Yes, for the production of milk, we are rearing the animals, domestic animals like cow and buffalo and bull for the draught purpose. Yes, the next, for the meat purpose, the farmers may rear the poultries, and also for the egg purpose also. For the egg and meat, the farmers they can rear the poultries. For honey, that is the farmers can rear the honeybees. For the production of silk, the farmers can rear the silkworm. Yes, these kinds of practices are called as the animal husbandry. That's all about the first topic of the 8th class is over. Thank you.